If you've ever held Ethereum, you've probably felt it. That tension between wanting to stake it for rewards and not wanting to lock it away. It's the eternal conflict between patience and participation, between holding and using. That's the problem that Lido DAO set out to solve. In the early days of Ethereum's transition to proof of stake, staking was powerful but exclusive. You needed 32 ETH to become a validator, technical skills to manage nodes, and the patience to keep your funds locked for months, maybe years. For most people, that wasn't realistic. It was like being told you could join the future of finance, but only if you could afford the ticket. Lido changed that by introducing something simple but revolutionary: liquid staking. The idea sounds technical, but it's deeply human. A way to let people participate in the network, earn rewards, and still have the freedom to use their assets. Instead of locking your ETH away, you could stake it through Lido and receive stETH, a liquid token that represents your staked assets and accrues rewards over time. Suddenly, staking wasn't just for the wealthy or the technically skilled, it was for everyone. That shift did more than make staking easier, it changed how people interact with Ethereum itself. Because when you hold stETH, your tokens don't just sit, they move. They grow, they work across DeFi, in lending, trading, liquidity pools, and governance. It's the kind of innovation that doesn't just simplify crypto, it deepens it. Lido took one of Ethereum's greatest limitations and turned it into a foundation for participation. And yet there's something even more interesting beneath the surface. Lido isn't a company. It's a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization governed by the people who use it. It's a system built around collaboration, not control. The validators are distributed. The governance is open. The rewards are shared. That balance between decentralization and usability is what makes Lido such a defining project. It shows that you can build something technically complex and still keep it human, that you can design for efficiency without losing trust. Because at its core, Lido is more than just a staking service. It's a statement that freedom and participation can coexist, that you can build systems where liquidity and security don't have to compete, where accessibility doesn't come at the cost of decentralization. That's why millions of users trust Lido today. It's not just about earning staking rewards, it's about being part of Ethereum's heartbeat without giving up control. And in this video, we'll go deep into what makes Lido so essential. We'll explore how it works, how it governs itself, and how it's shaping the future of liquid staking. Not only for Ethereum, but for the entire multi-chain ecosystem. Because this isn't just the story of a protocol, it's the story of a bridge. Between staking and liquidity, between code and community, between what's locked and what's free. And maybe that's what crypto has always been about. Finding ways to give freedom structure and giving structure back its soul. Lido's story begins at a crossroads in Ethereum's history. A moment when the network was shifting from proof of work to proof of stake, and the world was watching to see if decentralization could truly scale. Back then, staking was supposed to make Ethereum more energy efficient, more democratic, and more secure. But in practice, it came with walls. You needed 32 ETH to become a validator. You needed technical knowledge to set up nodes and manage uptime. You needed to accept that your funds would be locked, untouchable, until the network was ready for withdrawals. That setup excluded most people. It turned the promise of democratization into something that still felt gated. Lido was created as a response to that imbalance, a way to make staking liquid, collective, and inclusive. The founders believed that participation in securing a decentralized network shouldn't require wealth or expertise. It should be accessible to anyone holding ETH, no matter how much or how little. Their vision was simple but profound: to separate the act of staking from the pain of illiquidity. By introducing liquid staking, Lido allowed users to stake any amount of ETH and receive a token, stETH, representing their stake. That token could move freely across the ecosystem, traded, used in DeFi protocols, or simply held to earn rewards. The concept created a feedback loop. As more people staked through Lido, more stETH entered circulation, and more DeFi protocols began integrating it. The ecosystem didn't just grow, it interconnected. But Lido's founders understood that liquidity alone wasn't enough. It had to be built on trust and transparency. That's why Lido operates as a DAO, a decentralized governance structure where key decisions, validator onboarding, and treasury management are all handled collectively by token holders through on-chain voting. Every validator in Lido's network is carefully vetted but independently operated. This ensures that while staking is simplified, it never becomes centralized. The DAO model makes Lido more than just a product. It's a public utility built by and for the community. At the heart of Lido's vision is freedom through participation. The team didn't want to build a service that people depend on. They wanted to build an open framework where anyone could contribute, from developers writing integrations to validators securing the network to users holding stETH. That's also why Lido expanded beyond Ethereum. It brought liquid staking to other ecosystems like Solana, Polygon, and Kusama, proving that the model wasn't just a feature but a principle. The principle that decentralization works best when participation is easy. Lido's vision is forward-looking too. As the world moves toward restaking, modular chains, and new forms of decentralized security, Lido is positioning itself as the foundation layer for the next generation of staking. Fluid, composable, and open. Because what started as a simple solution to Ethereum's 32 ETH barrier has evolved into something larger, a philosophy of shared ownership, where liquidity and decentralization reinforce each other. That's the essence of Lido's vision. A world where participation isn't limited by what you hold or what you know, but empowered by what you believe in. Open systems, collective trust, and freedom that doesn't freeze. Lido Finance works like a bridge between the complexity of Ethereum's proof-of-stake system and the everyday user who simply wants to earn rewards without giving up flexibility. The process begins with something simple. You deposit your ETH into Lido. In return, you receive stETH, a token that represents both your deposit and your staking rewards. Behind that simple exchange, though, is a network of validators, smart contracts, and decentralized governance mechanisms all working together to make sure the system runs safely and transparently. Here's how it happens under the hood. When users stake through Lido, their ETH is pooled together in a smart contract. That contract then distributes the ETH to a carefully selected group of independent validators. Each validator operates under strict performance and security requirements, ensuring that no single entity can control or compromise the network. As these validators do their work, confirming transactions, securing the chain, and helping maintain consensus, they earn rewards in ETH. Those rewards are automatically reflected in the value of stETH. You don't need to claim them, compound them, or move them. Your balance simply grows over time, quietly, like interest in a savings account. But what makes Lido truly innovative is that stETH is liquid. Unlike traditional staking, where your funds are locked, stETH moves freely across the ecosystem. You can trade it, lend it, use it as collateral, or stake it in DeFi protocols to earn additional rewards. It behaves just like ETH, except it constantly grows in value as staking rewards accumulate. That liquidity is what turned Lido into the backbone of Ethereum's staking economy. It solved one of the biggest problems in crypto, the trade-off between earning yield and maintaining freedom of movement. And it's not just for Ethereum anymore. Lido's liquid staking model extends across multiple blockchains, from Polygon to Solana to Kusama, each integrated through its own network of validators, adapted smart contracts, and decentralized reward systems. All of this is governed by Lido DAO, powered by the LDO token. Token holders vote on key parameters, validator selection, fee structures, treasury allocations, and network upgrades. This decentralized decision-making ensures that no single group has control over the protocol's future. The system evolves through consensus, not command. Lido also emphasizes security and transparency. All contracts are open source, regularly audited, and monitored in real time. The validator set is diverse, minimizing slashing risk and ensuring continuous uptime. Even the DAO's treasury and governance decisions are fully visible on-chain. From a design perspective, Lido's architecture is elegant because it turns staking into infrastructure, something that other protocols can build on top of. DeFi projects can integrate stETH as collateral, liquidity, or even as a governance asset, creating new layers of financial interaction. It's this composability that makes Lido so powerful. The more it's used, the stronger it becomes. Every integration, every new protocol, every stETH-based application deepens its liquidity and reinforces its position as the standard for liquid staking. Underneath it all, though, the philosophy remains simple. You shouldn't have to choose between helping secure a decentralized network and participating in it. Lido's technology ensures you can do both, safely, transparently, and with full ownership of your assets. And as we look beyond Ethereum to new staking layers, restaking systems, and modular blockchains, Lido's model of liquid, composable staking might not just stay relevant. It might become essential. The real impact of Lido DAO can't just be measured in total value locked or token price. It's in how it changed the way people interact with blockchain networks. Before Lido, staking was something reserved for the technically skilled and financially privileged. The entry barrier was high, the risks were intimidating, and the opportunity cost was steep. Lido broke those barriers by making staking as simple as swapping a token. And that single design shift opened the door for millions of people to participate in securing the future of Ethereum. That accessibility is Lido's first and most obvious impact. It democratized Ethereum's proof of stake. Someone with 0. 1 ETH now has the same ability to earn staking rewards as someone with hundreds. The network is stronger because participation is broader. And that means decentralization isn't just a principle, it's a practice. The second major impact is what stETH has done to DeFi itself. By turning staked ETH into a liquid, yield-bearing asset, Lido transformed staking from a passive act into an active component of the decentralized economy. stETH can be traded on exchanges, lent on Aave, deposited in curve pools, or used as collateral across DeFi protocols. That flexibility turned staking into a composable building block, one that other protocols could integrate into their systems. Entire DeFi strategies now exist around stETH, from leverage staking to yield farming to synthetic assets. It blurred the line between earning and building, between network security and financial innovation. This integration has also made DeFi more efficient. Liquidity that would have otherwise been locked for months or years is now circulating through the ecosystem, fueling trading volume, deepening liquidity pools, and stabilizing markets. That flow of value, constantly earning, constantly moving, is the living proof of what liquid staking really means. Lido has also had a huge impact on validators and institutions. By decentralizing staking, it allowed professional validators to join a network of trust instead of operating alone. And for institutions, it offered a compliant, transparent way to stake ETH at scale without the operational burden of managing their own validator infrastructure. But perhaps the most meaningful impact is philosophical. Lido has quietly redefined what participation means in crypto. It's no longer just about holding tokens. It's about helping secure the system while still being part of its economy. It's about turning passive investors into active contributors, without demanding technical knowledge or giving up ownership. That's why Lido isn't just a product, it's infrastructure. It sits beneath the surface of so much of what powers DeFi today, often unnoticed, but indispensable. Its reach has extended beyond Ethereum too. On other networks like Polygon and Solana, Lido's model has helped bootstrap new ecosystems by providing early liquidity and encouraging staking participation. And as new protocols explore restaking, modular chains, and AI-driven governance, Lido's foundation gives them something to build on, a system of trust that scales with innovation. In real-world terms, Lido's existence means DeFi can grow faster and safer. Users gain liquidity, networks gain stability, builders gain composability, everyone benefits. It's a simple formula with a massive ripple effect, one that continues to shape the structure of decentralized finance as it matures. Because in the end, Lido's impact isn't just in what it built, it's in how it changed the rhythm of participation, turning staking into movement, turning liquidity into life, and turning crypto's most technical process into something anyone can be part of. Lido DAO isn't just a protocol, it's a reminder of what decentralization was supposed to feel like. In a space filled with innovation and noise, Lido did something quietly radical. It gave people the freedom to participate in Ethereum's future without forcing them to choose between security and liquidity. It turned staking, a process that once felt rigid, technical, and inaccessible, into something open, elegant, and effortless. And that might be why it matters so much. Because if you think about it, the story of Lido isn't about staking rewards. It's about access, about how the smallest design decisions, like making a token liquid, can shift the entire rhythm of an ecosystem. Ethereum's transition to proof of stake was one of the most significant moments in blockchain history. It was the point where the network proved it could evolve. But it also created a paradox. The more people staked, the less liquid the ecosystem became. Lido resolved that paradox, not through marketing, but through mechanism design. It gave people stETH, a way to keep moving, even while their assets were securing the network. It turned stillness into motion. That's the deeper story here. Lido didn't just invent liquid staking, it invented freedom inside participation. In doing so, it created a feedback loop that continues to shape the DeFi world. stETH became one of the most integrated assets across protocols, used in lending, yield strategies, and liquidity pools. Developers began building with it as if it were ETH itself. It became a currency of confidence, proof that decentralized systems can balance complexity with simplicity. But with that success also came new questions about centralization, dominance, and influence. Could one protocol become too important? Could convenience erode diversity? Lido has faced those challenges head-on, leaning on its DAO structure to decentralize power, diversify validator sets, and refine governance processes. Because even as it grows, it knows the same rule applies. The strength of a decentralized system is not in its size, it's in its balance. And Lido's DAO model is that balance in motion. Decisions are made collectively. Validators are chosen transparently. Fees and upgrades are debated and voted on by the community. It's not perfect, but it's evolving. The same way Ethereum evolves, through open collaboration. What makes Lido inspiring isn't that it solved everything, but that it showed what can happen when technology aligns with human intuition. People wanted to participate. They just needed a way to do it without barriers. Lido gave them that. And the effects ripple far beyond Ethereum. The concept of liquid staking now powers ecosystems across multiple chains, from Solana to Polygon to Cosmos. It's a new financial primitive, a bridge between active participation and flexible liquidity. In a way, Lido represents the next phase of decentralization, not just open access, but fluid access. A system where assets, networks, and users move together, freely, securely, and transparently. So when we talk about the future of DeFi, we're really talking about the future that Lido helped make possible. A future where participation doesn't mean restriction, where security doesn't mean stillness, and where earning doesn't mean exclusion. Because that's what true innovation looks like, when freedom and structure stop fighting and start working together. And that's what Lido DAO is. Not just a staking protocol, but a living example of how the best technology disappears into experience. It just works. Lido doesn't tell you to trust it. It shows you why you can. And maybe that's why in the history of blockchain, Lido won't just be remembered as a product. It'll be remembered as a principle that decentralization should never come at the cost of freedom.